Joseph was buried up there according to the book of Genesis, and there's a tomb and a shrine there in honor. And I don't know if you saw the pictures, they were on top of it with sledgehammers. Nobody protested. Nobody bothered that they do that kind of thing. And that's just the way, to me, that's the inequality of the way things are looked at. One group of people, because nothing's expected of them, can get away with everything. And another group of people who everything's expected of get away with almost nothing. And yet are blamed for everything. So that's the personal view that I have of that situation. And you can read between the lines and figure out why or what I feel like. But in any case, Shechem ultimately turned out to be the capital of the northern kingdom. Today it's called Nablus. The reason it's called Nablus today is because there's no P in Arabic, there's a B. And after a long period of time, when the Greeks finally got a hold of this area and the Romans, they built a new city on top of the old city of Shechem. And they called that Neapolis. Neapolis in Greek means new polis, new city. Naples is also Neapolis. All these places have a Greek name to them, have a Greek root. And so Nablus was the Arabic approximation of Neapolis. Neapolis, Neapolis, Nablus. That's how oral speech goes. Same as Istanbul. Constantinople, there's no P, remember, has to go to B. Constantinople, Istanbul, Istanbul, Istanbul. That's how it gets. And there you are, Istanbul. So Constantinople moves into Istanbul, Neapolis moves into Nablus. The way speech works. So, the first place he visits, nothing much happens according to Yahweh. So I think these are mainly stories that the Yahweh has taken from the shrines themselves. I think the Yahweh has gone to visit all these different shrines, and like all places, the guy who's keeping it, either the gatekeeper or the tourist guide or the guy hanging around there, the guy who wants money or whatever, you come there. Suppose you're the journalist or you're the writer. You come there. Hey, come on, me. I'll show you the shrine. So here's our altar here. You know who founded this altar? Abraham. Abraham founded this altar. Father of our people. Okay, I get you. Next guy, go down to another place. Hebron. Go visit that shrine. Come here. I'll take you around here. See the shrine over here? See that tree? That's where Abraham stopped. And see that altar? That altar was put down there by Abraham. Muhammad does the same thing in the Quran, doesn't he? What's he saying? Even though it's almost impossible to even conceive of it. And all Muslims today in the world believe it. The Kaaba. The shrine in Mecca. Who put that down? Who founded that shrine? Oh, Abraham. Abraham put that down. That's Abraham's shrine. That's a shrine of monotheism, even though it's got a pagan black stone in the middle of it. It was a pre-Islamic pagan shrine. But anyway, it's attributed to Abraham. Probably even though Abraham never been God into the Arabian Peninsula. But it doesn't matter. That's how these things develop. And so did Abraham found all these shrines? I don't think so. I don't even think he founded these shrines here. But that's what the shrine people are telling the writer, like tourist guides. So I think you have to read backwards. That's how this material comes to be. The shrines are keeping these traditions alive. Abraham founded our shrine. Founded it on the way down when he first came into Palestine, when he was coming from northern Syria. He stopped here and he put a stone down here and he worshipped here, and that's what happened. So here's the first one. So Abraham built an altar to Yahweh in line 8, because Yahweh had appeared to him there. And then, so the shrine will say, look, this is where God appeared and promised Abraham that he was going to give him the land. In fact, this is where God promised Abraham that his descendants would inherit this land. That's what happened at this shrine. You better realize how important this shrine is. Anyway, he kept on moving east of Bethel. Bethel, as we'll read in Amos later on, one of the early prophets, is the official royal shrine of the north. Bethel, actually, the northern kingdom, we haven't even gotten there yet, but we will. The northern kingdom split away from the southern kingdom sometime after the death of David and Solomon. But in any case, Bethel means, guess what? House of God, right? In Hebrew, Beit El. Beit El. Bayit is house, El is God. Beit El. Beit El, if you prefer. Beit El. Beit El. House of God. We call it Bethel. Bethel. Anyway, this is west of Ai. We're going to hear about in the Joshua stories and the conquests. Remember that. Ai is one of these towns near Bethel, north of Jerusalem. And there he not only built an altar, he invoked the name of Yahweh. So who was the first to invoke the name of Yahweh? We heard it in one of the genealogies. And he was the first to invoke the name of Yahweh. Was it Enoch or something like that? Enoch? Huh? One of those. Well, this is the second time, okay? See if you can keep track and remember these things. So the second one to invoke the name of Yahweh is Abram. Enosh, then Abram. So he goes down to the, stage by stage, down to the Negev, or Negeb. What do you have, Negev or Negeb? It should be Negev, N-E-G-E-V, that's what it's called today. That's the southern Israeli desert, the area next to Sinai, above basically the Red Sea. So that's what the Beersheba, Hebron are at the top of that. So more of the Negev. Okay. There was a famine, and Abraham went down to Egypt. Now, watch this story. We finished that Yahweh line, Abraham got to the Negev, right? End that business. So now we have another little snippet. Line, it's just tough to explain all this, but 12:10 to 12:20. This is another story, just like the Lot story, rather, just like the Canaan and the Ham and Japheth and so on. Not a very nice story about Abraham. In other words, these people are not heroic. Noah was a drunkard, Abraham's a coward. Because the storyteller is not interested to portray superhuman beings. What he wants to do is tell you a story about people that is interesting, that reflects the time and place that these people live. And I think he succeeds in doing that. He tells you good stories that are reflective of, not telling you like Greek